Keckner in the Everyday Family Room, and I have an amazing actress here today, Beth Littleford.
Thank you, Lee. Woo! Right back at you.
Beth is an incredible woman, mother, and actress, and I'm so honored to have you here.
Thanks, love. It's an honor to be here.
We have something in common, which I think it's like 1 in 4 women have in common with us, is infertility. And sometimes you don't know that you have that in common with us until you try and have a family.
I was surprised by how many women told me how often or that they had had miscarriages in their life.
That's why
I was surprised to hear that.
That's why I'm excited we're talking about it. As soon as I started speaking about having my uterus removed with my first child and wanting to have more kids and looking into surrogacy and adoption, women came out of the woodwork to me to talk about their miscarriages, and we're so alone a lot of times in this subject.
Yeah.
And it's...
I did a lot when we were first going through infertility. I did some groups, support groups and things like that, and you would get in with these women who had just shut down, who didn't want to tell anyone, who didn't want to go to family functions, who had stopped going to like religious services because they didn't want to see pregnant women, who wouldn't go to showers.
Where I think that comes from is that we are women, and the thing that's amazing about us is we can give life.
Yeah.
And when that's like the biggest celebration,
sort of
and
this,
you can't,
again,
you feel like a failure.
Power. And
you
then,
feel like a failure.
Yeah.
I remember being like to my husband, "I'm sorry, I can't give you anything." I mean, it felt that big at the beginning.
Yeah, and when there's such an emotional investment in it, and it's such a sort of a plan and just sort of a deep investment.
And when you kind of wait your whole life for the moment where you finally meet the guy and you finally get to have kids. Oh, I can't have them.
Yeah, and every month, and what's wrong? What's wrong? Is something wrong?
It's such a road of heartache.
Yeah.
To figure out what you're going to do.
Right. And then and then the big questions. What am I going to do? And IVF, such a scary prospect. I mean, everything starts sounding scary.
Yeah. Well, everything sounds scary.
All of them. The shots, the drugs, all of it. Adoption, which ultimately, we turn to for our newborn now.
If I could ask you for a piece of advice for someone who is struggling with infertility, what would it be? If you think about your journey, like what you got from it.
For me, I mean, my husband says I tell the toll booth operator our business, like, we went through infertility and now we're adopting. As we drive through and throw the quarter in. So I'm a loudmouth and I'm a sharer. But I've seen so many women suffer in silence.
Right.
So I really think it's about support and it's about talking. It's about opening up.
Yeah.
If it may be perhaps choosing your audience, making a wise choice about your audience, but I do think that there are support groups out there. Look online, chat rooms if you don't want to go meet with other women. But there are places to meet. There are a lot of infertility forums where you can go and learn about options.
I'm going to say this, Beth, because I think that's a perfect wrap up, and I'm going to put a little cherry on top of that. Get support and talk about it, and know that your prayers get answered in the end. You will have a family, you will have a child if that is your heart's desire.
There's always happy endings.
I did surrogacy, she did adoption. There's a way, and that's the beautiful thing. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to know more about the beautiful Beth Littleford, go to everydayfamily.com and check out our show page. Will ya? Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted a lip kiss.
I avoided it because we both have lip gloss on.